Hello, and welcome to Divine Intuition for the air signs. So, today I'm going to be doing readings for the air signs. So, I'm going to start with Aquarius. And, like always, I'm going to be using the Witch's Tarot. And I'm also going to be using the Psychic Tarot for the heart. Okay, so I'll be using this one now. So just going to wait until everyone joins in. Okay, just checking everything out here. All right, so let's start with Aquarius. And then after that, we're going to do Gemini and Libra after that. All right, so let's take a look at what's in store for Aquarius for the month of February. All right, so we have the Two of Cups, the Death card, and the Two of Pentacles. So what I feel here, Aquarius, is that there's going to be certain shifts happening for you for this month of February. There are a lot of changes happening for you since I do see the Death card here. There's a lot of endings taking place. So there's a lot of situations here that are ending for you and are kind of, you're going to be starting to see new things coming for you forward for the month of February. Certain things that you were following, certain things that you were certain patterns I feel in your life are kind of shifting. So like habits are kind of changing around as well. So I feel like with this, there comes like a new beginning. So there's a new beginning happening for you. When things end, there's also a resurrection of something new, right? So this kind of letting go is going to take a while for you to kind of, it's going to be hard for you to let it go, Aquarius, right? It's something that you're very attached to, but it's going to take some time to slowly kind of let it go, right? And it with the Death card, it is major transformation happening for you. It's a transition, right? So certain things, certain patterns that you were used to in the past are kind of shifting now, and you're moving towards kind of like better grounds. So I feel like with this, though, there's going to be new opportunities with interactions with other people. There's going to be more connection with other people as well, like a partnership, right? This ending, although it's a little bit hard to let go of this ending, it's bringing forth an opportunity for you to meet new people. So I do see you meeting new people, Aquarius. With this end comes a new beginning, right? And this new beginning is bringing forward people that can help you out in the future, better interactions, better connections, better networking, right? And I do see you connecting with a particular individual who you can have a lot of emotional connection with, right? There seems to be this kind of chemistry between you and this person. And this is actually helping you move on forward with whatever you're trying to let go here, Aquarius. I feel like there is quite a heavy energy for you coming forward for the month of February, and most of that heavy energy is mostly related to things and situations that you were hanging on to, but was kind of pushing you down. It was kind of dragging you down. So it can be quite difficult for us to kind of let go of that energy, right? But it is a major arcana. And as a major arcana, the death card brings forth a sense of transformation in your life, right? So things that you were accustomed to are now shifting and changing. So it's a sense of transition, it's a sense of transformation, right? You are going through kind of like a cocoon stage, right? Getting ready to become the butterfly, right? And as a cocoon, you have to kind of, there is a sense of kind of isolation that you have to go through, or a sense of um, kind of shifting and changing internally. So there is like a sense of an internal shift and an internal change within you, that's kind of your cocoon, right? So that's why it's very important to rest a lot, right, for you, because you are changing yourself, you are internally changing, and as you internally change, your external reality changes as well, right? So that's kind of like the metamorphosis that I feel here for you, Aquarius, that you're going through for the months of February, right? And that's what the death card represents, is kind of letting an old pattern um, fade and allowing you kind of beginning to begin. It's like a transitioning, letting go of something old that kind of no longer serves you, that was kind of like your past and was kind of dragging you down, right? And now there is an opportunity for you, Aquarius, for this month of February to kind of go through a sort of metamorphosis and go through a sort of transformation, to begin a new beginning, to begin something new for you for the month of February. And this can be also regarding past relationships or past interactions that you were dealing with other people, and they probably don't resonate with you anymore, Aquarius, or no longer serve you in that sense, perhaps no longer in alignment with them. So that's why I feel by letting go of this and bringing forth a new beginning, you are going to align with other people who are in better resonance with you. So kind of allowing you to kind of, who will serve you better, right, in the future, right? It's kind of like-minded energy, people who are more in your resonance. That's what I feel for you, Aquarius. So that's why it is important to let go and allow new connections and new kind of chemistry, I feel chemistry, bonding, to take form. Yeah, Aquarius. Now, you will be juggling between two things. You are kind of contemplating between two things. You are juggling between two things. You're not quite sure which one to choose. Perhaps you're juggling between two job opportunities, juggling between two kind of practical things that you have to focus on. So it could be, I feel like, certain responsibilities that you have to take charge of, certain responsibilities that you need to focus on, right? And I see you multitasking. I see you juggling back and forth between one task and between another task. So there is quite a sense of like juggling and multitasking. I do sense that you're multitasking for this month of February, Aquarius. You are focusing, putting your attention and focusing on one thing, on one task, and also you're putting your attention and focusing on another task as well, right? So you are going to be going back and forth between two things. And they seem like I feel like there are certain situations that you have to put your effort, time, and energy and investment into, because it's something that can bring rewards for you. But you're focused on two things at the moment, Aquarius. So that's going to be kind of your focus this month, February, Aquarius. You're going to be juggling between two things, two priorities, perhaps trying to get two tasks, two responsibilities done for the month of February, right? So you are going to be quite busy, and you might put more attention in one task than the other task. I sense here, one of them you are kind of more drawn to, and I feel like you are more You're seeing more of a reward in one particular part of one particular pentacle than the other pentacle, and you're more drawn to it. You feel like you want to invest more in one particular task or endeavor than the other one, right? So I do see you juggling back and forth, but I see that you're going to prioritize one particular endeavor or task more than the other one, right? So I do see you focusing on certain practical situations, endeavors in the month of February, right? But mostly, I do feel that you're mostly resting, right? Recovering from that, letting go and going through a sort of internal transition, right? Metamorphosis. So you're going to need a lot of rest for this month of February in order to kind of form that cocoon so that you can later on become that butterfly, right? Become that new version of yourself with new connections, new beginnings, new relationships, right? And I do see a particular connection here that's very strong for you, and it looks quite promising. So that's why I feel you are more drawn to one pentacle than the other one, because there is one particular connection that you are more drawn to than others, right? And that seems more promising for you, right, Aquarius? So that's what I see for you. Let's take out more cards from the Psychic Tarot for the heart. Okay, we have success and growth. We have master. And we have believe and succeed. So you are definitely working hard in your crafts. We have success and growth, right? So we have success and growth, something more than the other, and you're starting to see it grow. You're starting to see it develop further. So whatever you're working on, whether it be a business, whether it be a job, or anything you're investing your time and effort in, it's looking quite promising for the month of February. Looks like whatever you're trying to build for yourself is actually quite successful. You're growing, and you're growing in terms of your success, in terms of your reputation, in terms of your business. You're seeing it grow, whichever endeavor you're focusing on, right? Whether it be a side business or whether it be your job, whether it be something you're building for yourself, right? Whichever you're working really hard on, it is quite successful for the month of February. You do see a lot of progression here. It's like a tree, right? It's a tree and it's slowly growing, right? You're slowly building your foundation. That's what I feel, Aquarius, is that you're slowly starting to see your foundation solidify for yourself for the month of February, right? So this is what's happening for you. Quite successful. There is growth in what you're building, and it looks promising for you, and it is quite successful for you, right? So that's what I see for you, Aquarius. You are still uh, mastering a certain craft. I feel you are kind of developing something on the side, and I think that's what you're juggling between, because we did see here the Two of Pentacles, right? So you, while you are putting more focus on this, because I feel that's your priority right now, there is something else that you are putting your attention on and that you're juggling back and forth on, right? And while this is your priority, there is something that you're brewing, and it's something that it's like a craft of yours. It's like you're really good at doing it, right? And you're building it, and you are seeing kind of the results of it. And so that's why you're very drawn to that, because that's something that's also bringing rewards. So that's why you're going to be juggling back and forth in it, right? But you are prioritizing one over the other. But the other endeavor that you're working on, it's also looking quite promising for the month of February. So that's why I feel like you just need a little bit more belief in yourself in order to succeed, right? So you have to believe in yourself, Aquarius, and what you're trying to build. Perhaps you're putting more focus on this because this is something that you know that will bring results, right? You're kind of confident in this situation. It's probably something that you've been working on for quite a long time, Aquarius. But this other side endeavor that you're doing, it's a little bit challenging for you because perhaps it's something new to you and you haven't done it before. But it is something dear to you, Aquarius, that you're very fond of. And I feel like it's just a matter of just believing in yourself, believing that you can do it, and being consistent in it, right? Because you are going to succeed in it. It does say succeed. There is a sense of success in this. It's just a matter of believing in yourself, Aquarius, and believing that you can accomplish it, believing that this is possible, right? And that you can flourish with this, right? So there is a sense of success also. So I do see a lot of success for you for this month of February, Aquarius. I do I do feel like something solidifying for you, and in terms of your foundation, something that you're working really hard, that it's solidifying for you, and there is growth in it, right? And at the same time, there is something on the side that you're working towards that is actually becoming successful too, right? But it's just a little bit shaky because it's your self-doubt, right, Aquarius? I feel there is a lot of self-doubt in regards to the situation, in regards to what you're building on the side. So yes, it looks quite promising in terms of success, career, and business, and endeavors and what you're building in the month of February, Aquarius. So it looks quite good. That's why I feel like you're juggling a lot, right? Now, aside from this, there are certain heavy energies that are kind of pulling you back. And I feel like a certain, could be certain old toxic patterns that you it's a little bit difficult for you to break out of, right? So this is the Master card. I think this is the Devil card, right? Certain addictions that you may still be drawn to, certain habits that you still fall down upon, right? And I think it has something to do with letting this go. And this is what the Death card is kind of letting go of that situation that was quite heavy and it was kind of bringing you down, Aquarius. And that tends to create like a toxic cycle for yourself, whichever pattern that you were following on, whichever habits that you were in. If it's a sort of addiction, if it's a sort of interactions with certain people that can be repetitive, this kind of it feel like it brings you down very quickly. Like it lowers your energy very drastically and can be quite harmful for you. So whichever addiction that you're in, it could, addictions can be people, addictions can be uh, anything, it doesn't have to be a substance, it doesn't have to be, it can be people sometimes, right? And so it could be even family members, it can be a pattern that you're following, right? So it depends on the person, on the individual. But I feel that there is a sense of repetitive action that's happening with you. And I think that's what you're trying to break out of, right? This is why I feel that there's a very heavy energy of letting go, right? You are letting go of a situation that's quite heavy for you. And it's kind of affecting your heart chakra, right? And it's preventing you to kind of open your heart, and it's preventing you to open yourself, right? It's kind of as if you're shielding yourself, right? And you're shielding that light of yours to emanate towards others, right? There's a sense of barrier, a sense of you're putting on a barrier, perhaps for protection, right? But it's because of this sort of habit or toxic pattern you were in before with other people or with situations or substances that put you in a kind of shielded yourself a bit more from being able to kind of allow yourself to be vulnerable, right? So that's why this person is shielding themselves, shielding their hearts. It's a sense of preventing themselves to be vulnerable with people or situations around them, right? So there is a sense of kind of mastering that part of you, kind of healing that part of you, and kind of have a sense of more self-discipline. You will have more of a self-discipline, perhaps less reactions, perhaps mastering your emotions, right? Disciplining your emotions, disciplining your mental state, right? There's a sense of self-discipline I feel here that you will develop throughout the month of February, right? And I feel like this is helping you as well. This kind of success and growth, this kind of foundation that you're stabilizing for yourself, that's helping you be able to kind of ground yourself and discipline yourself in that sense, right? Into following those patterns for you, Aquarius, okay? So, right. So that's what I see for Aquarius for this month of February. Quite good in terms of success and business projects and work related situations. So that's something to look forward to. And you are going to be juggling back and forth between that. There's just this it's just hard to let go of certain ways, certain patterns that we were so used to, right, Aquarius? So I feel like that's the heavy energy of the death card, is going through that death process, going through that ending that can be quite challenging, right? So that transition is never easy. Going through a sense of transition is quite difficult, right? Especially when you're in the middle point, when the thing that you were doing ended and there's no and the new beginning hasn't begun yet. So there's this awkward kind of limbo stage of transition that usually the death card represents, is kind of like that limbo stage, whereas like you have to let go of the past and now you have to bring forth a new beginning, but the new beginning hasn't begun yet, right? Because you're still kind of brewing, the new beginning for yourself, right? And it hasn't manifested yet, right? It hasn't begun yet. So you're in like kind of like a awkward limbo stage. That's what I feel. So it's going to take some time, Aquarius, for you to kind of move forward towards a new beginning, as this kind of old life that you were going through, or old attachments that you had before, you're kind of slowly kind of letting that go, right, Aquarius? So that can be the challenging part, is letting that go. And that's why it involves a lot of rest, it involves a lot of isolation, and it involves a lot of recovering from those situations, right? Especially if we're dealing with a certain addiction that was a bit toxic for you, right? With the Master card. And but other than that, looks like you're going to have great connections with people, with other people around you, right? With what you're trying to build at work, what you're trying to achieve. Since you have a lot of success for the month of February, and what you're trying to build, and in your job, in your career, whichever you're building, you are actually getting quite successful with it, and it's kind of getting very solidified for you. So your foundation looks good. So that's going to help you for the month of February. Okay, so there is going to be connections, and you will be connecting with someone in particular that you'll have more chemistry with, that can help you achieve what you want to achieve, right? So that's why it's good to let go of people from the past, because by allowing new opportunities to come forth and new beginnings, you allow other people who have that kind of you allow the right type of people to come into your life, right? For when you start new beginnings, right? And those people are going to actually help you achieve what you want to achieve, right? So letting go is hard, and letting go of the past is hard too. But after that, everything is so much better than before. So you just have to go through that awkward transition. Okay, Aquarius, so that was your reading. Let's go do Gemini. All right, Gemini. So let's do a reading for you for Gemini for this month of February 2024. All right, Aquarius. Oh, sorry, Gemini. All right, Gemini. So let's see what's in store for you for February 2024. Okay, so you have the Seven of Cups. You have the Six of Cups. And you have the Page of Wands. Okay, so we have the Seven of Cups here. And what I get the feeling of is this month, around February, you are kind of contemplating your choices for this month of February. There are certain opportunities approaching your way, and there's a lot of doors opening up for you. A lot of doors opening up. Suddenly there's a lot of like paths. You know how when there's moments where everything feels like stagnant for you? February is like that month where suddenly things are no longer stagnant, and suddenly everything starts to come to the surface. So suddenly there are a lot of doors opening up for you. There's a lot of doors of opportunity approaching for you, right? So it can be a little bit overwhelming seeing all these opportunities for you, Gemini, and they're quite fulfilling opportunities. They're quite emotional. They're quite something that can bring you fulfillment, right? But it's a little bit conflicting because you're not sure which one to choose, right? Because there's just so many options that it can overwhelm you and it can conflict your priorities, right? So this is going to be a month of kind of figuring out what are your priorities for this month of February. What do you want to focus on? What is your main goal? What is your ambition? What are you focusing on the most right now? What is something that needs to be done right now? And then you'll be able to figure out more, right? Because here you have so many options and they're all opening up for you. So here you have an opportunity to um, gain a sort of job. There's income coming in, an opportunity to change jobs, an opportunity to meet somebody. Because here there's kind of like a cup with like, it looks like a mermaid in there, right? So that can be an emotional opportunity for love. You see a house here, an opportunity to purchase a home or move to an apartment or purchase a mortgage or move to a location that fulfills you, right? Or to choose freedom. So there's a butterfly here. So that can represent a sense of liberation, maybe traveling to visit beautiful places, right? So it depends what you want to choose. What is your priority? Is traveling your priority? Is having children your priority, right? You have a little kitten there. That's kind of like your kids there too. So you have so many options here, and there's just so many opportunities being brought to you on the surface for this month of February, where you have options to choose and select what will bring you most joy, right? And so I feel like um, you have to kind of know what your priorities are for this month, Gemini. There's just so many things that are finally opening up for you. It's kind of like the feeling I get for Gemini is that you've been walking in this dark tunnel for quite a long time, and you didn't see anything progress. There wasn't a sense of progress for you, and you didn't see any light coming in. And then suddenly in this month you kind of see kind of a bunch of different rays of light coming in this direction, in this direction, this opportunity, and this opportunity, right? So there's just so much opportunities for you to kind of, oh, it's just they all seem so great and so fun or fulfilling to choose this path or this path or this path, right? So that's just the conflict for you, Gemini, for the month of February. But they're positive. It just will probably conflict you because you won't know which one to choose. So my advice is, what is important right now? What are your goals? What are your goals? What are your ambitions? And what are your priorities, right? And then by understanding that, Gemini, you can figure out which one to choose. So this month does look like a lot of doors of opportunities are opening up for you. Okay. I do see you interacting with somebody for this month of February. It does seem like somebody from the past, meaning somebody from your childhood, someone that brought you a sense of security and a sense of nostalgia. So there is a sense of nostalgic feelings coming to the surface that will bring you a sense of comfort, right? It's just like this nice kind of loving feeling with an individual or with a group of people or with an environment. I feel like you're going to be interacting with someone, and that person is just somebody from, I feel like it's your childhood or someone that brings a sort of nostalgic feeling of comfort, safety, and security. So this is what I sense for you, a sense of safety and security and love. But there's like this kind of sense of innocence. There's a innocent kind of feeling of love, right? Kind of like a playfulness I sense, right? With you and this person or these people or individual. And that's going to kind of lighten your heart too. So this is also kind of what I was referring to, a door of opportunity, a ray of light coming in for you, Gemini, right? And that's why I feel like, what is your priority right now? Is it finances? Is it emotional connection? I feel for you, Gemini, for this month of February, it's mostly going to be emotional connection. I feel like you're going to be choosing more towards the emotional connection path for this February, because I feel like you really want to interact with people. I feel like you really want to socialize right now, right? You're kind of coming out of the surface, right? Kind of leaving that dark tunneling and entering into the sunlight. And that's quite exciting. It kind of pumps you up. You feel quite illuminated, and you feel quite optimistic and a little bit more extroverted than usual. Perhaps you weren't that extroverted before, hence the dark tunnel, right? But because there's like a lot of sun rays coming in and a lot of opportunities and movement in your life, there's a sense of kind of joy and playfulness that's coming forward for you, Gemini, and you're going to want to explore and going to want to interact more with other people, like socializing, right? Here you see the Page of Wands. He's quite a social butterfly, and he's quite playful and quite he's kind of like a ray of light as well. He's like a little sunshine as well, right? So maybe you weren't aware that you were like this, right? And maybe you lost it along the way in life, and maybe with this interaction that you're having with someone, or connecting with a part of yourself from the past that was safe and secure and nostalgic, that is allowing you to be safe, to come out of the surface and experience life, basically, right? And kind of like remembering your traits, remembering who you really are, right? Especially during these harsh times that we have gone throughout the year, right? Throughout the past years, right? So yes, I do see quite a lot of optimism for this month of February. A lot of exciting things approaching your way for February. Uh, Lots of socialization and interaction, and reliving memories of the past. So I feel like you are kind of heading towards emotional fulfillment. That's what I feel with people. I think that's what you're heading towards, Gemini. Okay. So that could be you, or it could be someone around you that is like that, because you are interacting with someone, and this can either be you, or it could be someone that has this personality, this personality trait that you're interacting with. Maybe a friend from the past, somebody who is like just just a genuine person, right? That's fun to be around, right? And quite playful, right? So you may be interacting with someone like that for the month of February. That is quite healing for you. It is quite healing, right? Here you have the water flowing down of emotional fulfillment. It's quite good for you sometimes to hang out with or interact with people like that from your past, right? And they can be quite healing. All right, Gemini, so let's take a look at more cards for you. Okay, we have find balance, we have control, and feeling a little bit. I'll let you know what this means, but I feel like I said, you are trying to find what's right for you, trying to find your balance for this month of February. There is so much to choose in that wheel, in the cycle of life. There's just so much, life is kind of like a game. If you ever play Monopoly and stuff, you realize that life is kind of like a game, right? And you just have to move forward in your life, and you have to just reach each step, each level in your life like a game. So this is very similar to what we were talking about with the Seven of Cups here for you, Gemini. It's a matter of understanding which ones are your priority. Or do you want to focus on relationships or marriages, right? So we have like the ring. We have like a ring here that represents like marriage, relationships. Do you want to commit now, right, into marriage? Do you want to form a family? So there's a baby here, right? Do you want to find emotional fulfillment? I think it's here. Or do you want to go to school and study? So there's a book here that is about education and study, right? So it's like similar to the cups here, right? Discovering what's in the cups, right? So it depends on you, obviously. Nobody's telling you what to do, but it's your choice. It's what you want to focus on. What is that you what do you need right now? What do you feel that you're lacking in your life, Gemini? Is there a sense of emptiness within you? Is there a sense of lack? Is there a lack of knowledge, lack of connection, lack of income? So it depends on you, Gemini. So that's why there's so many options here, what you want to choose. So you are going to be reflecting a lot this month of February and trying to find balance in your life, trying to balance certain things in your life that are lacking. So if you have more of this, but you're lacking of that, you're going to put more focus on that to balance it out a bit more in your life, right? Kind of like the scales, right, of justice, skills of Libra, right? So it's a matter of knowing what's missing and trying to incorporate that more in your life in order to regain balance in your life again, right? So there can be a sense of wholeness, completion, and contentment within yourself, right? So that's what I feel for you, Gemini, is that you're really going to be in that zone, in that contemplation, and figuring things out that are lacking in your life and taking action. I feel you're going to be taking action on it this month. There is a sense of control as well within you. There are certain things I feel that are quite triggering for you in your life. There is something, Gemini, in the month of February that is affecting you a lot internally, emotionally. You're not saying much about it. You're keeping it all inside. You are feeling a little bit vulnerable in a sense, and you're very in control of yourself. You're very in control of your emotions. You don't show it much. You kind of keep it all inside, right? And you don't really express that worry too much to others. And a lot of things overwhelm you. A lot of things make you emotionally, make you feel hopeless or helpless, right? There is a sense of feeling, a sense of like distress. That's what I feel. You're quite distressed about a particular situation in February, right? And it could be certain situations that are triggering you for the month of February, and that's why you're kind of gaining control of yourself. You're very quiet, disciplined with your emotions. You don't show your emotions. You don't get although you do get triggered, you have a lot of self-control and you don't allow your emotions to overwhelm you, right, for this month of February. Perhaps needing to resolve certain issues at home, certain issues regarding legal documents, or resolving issues regarding property or home. Certain things like this can really trigger you and can really affect you emotionally, but you're quite disciplined, I feel, Gemini, you're quite well tempered and you have a lot of self-control, right? And you have a lot of armor. It's almost as if you're quite protected. You armor yourself a lot from others, right? But deep down, the tough exterior, deep down there is like an inner child that is a little bit wounded, right? That's why there is a sense of feeling helpless and hopeless, right? And there is a sense of needing a sense of help or a sense of rescue within you, kind of like, even though you're very strong and internally there is a sense of needing help and needing to ask for help, and there is a sense of hopelessness and helplessness, right? Unable to resolve the situation on your own. So don't be afraid to reach out for help. Don't be afraid to reach out. If you have people that you know will help you, don't be afraid and approach them and ask for help. There's lots of people there that want to help you, right? So don't be afraid to be vulnerable sometimes and to approach, right? Because it looks sometimes we can be lost and we don't know which direction to go. It looks like you may be going through a crossroads, like not knowing which path to go. Like there's a sense of also wanting to go somewhere else but can't really. So there's a sense of distress in that sense as well. for you, Gemini, okay? So that's what I see for you guys for this month of February. So, yeah, so I feel like it's not going to be a bad month at all. I feel like it's going to be quite a good month of interaction with other people, right? And there's definitely going to be a nice emotional connection with others who make you feel safe, right? And maybe at home or something that's going to bring back memories of the past that's going to be quite secure and safe for you, Gemini, okay? So I definitely, there's going to be really fun times with this person, this interaction with this individual. It's going to be like a sense of sunshine for you and a sense of playfulness and safety and security. Going back to the past, feeling that nostalgic feeling is always awesome. It's always amazing to go through that because we have a feeling of safety. There's a sense of joy and kind of resurrection, right? So yeah, and yeah, so you're just going to be contemplating about things as well and just prioritizing things that mean more to you, right? All right, Gemini, so that was your reading. So now we're going to do a reading for Libra. So let's do Libra, and then that should be it for the air signs. All right. All right, Libra. So let's take a look at your reading for February 2024. All right, so let's take a look at your cards, Libra. All right. So I do sense, Libra, that this month of February is going to be an opportunity for you to kind of experience new experiences, like experiment with new things, kind of break your routine this month of February. There is a sense of adventure that I sense for you, Libra, kind of being very free spirited, having the opportunity to explore more and venture. And I feel like this month of February you are going to feel a little bit more liberated than usual. Perhaps the past couple of months or maybe responsibilities or tasks, but I feel like you're going to have a sense of freedom this month of February or close to the end of February, where things are going to be a little bit lighthearted, a little bit liberated, kind of like you can breathe a little bit more, right? And you can kind of have a sense of freedom and kind of a feeling of adventure. Like I sense this adventurous spirit in you, Libra, that wants to explore and feels a little bit light, right? And like a feather, light as a feather floating around. So there is an opportunity for you to kind of have the opportunity to either explore, venture, travel, right? Maybe you're taking a break from work. Maybe you are done your responsibilities and tasks, and you can now venture out and explore certain things that you really wanted to but couldn't before, but now you are able to do it, right? So that's what I sense for you, Libra. I feel like there is an opportunity for you to kind of break free and kind of take it easy, right, for this month of February, right? And that's going to bring in opportunities for you to work on certain tasks and work on certain projects that you're very passionate about. Perhaps you were leaving them behind and you weren't really focusing on these tasks before, but now you are going to actually put your attention into them. And there could be like situations that delayed your progress before in accomplishing these endeavors, but because there's a sense of liberation and there's a sense of freedom happening for you for this month of February, you're going to have like a lot of time to be able to finally work on these things that you were working on before but couldn't really complete it or accomplish it, right? And I feel like it's like a labor of love, right? Putting putting more attention in your work, putting it in more attention in your endeavors and your projects, right? And perhaps working late at night, studying more, building something useful, because you can tell she looks at her pentacle quite intensely and polishing it, and it looks like it's late at night. You could be working late at night towards something that means a lot to you, that can bring a lot of money and income for you. That's what I sense. And you also got the Seven of Cups, just like Gemini, where these opportunities that you are working towards with the Eight of Cups and all the freedom that you are having now is making you not question, like make you think again of what you really want in life. So because you have so much freedom and time in your hands, and you have all the time to build the things you love, you are now kind of changing your mind in regards to the direction of your life. It seems to me now that there's a kind of like a shift. There's kind of like a shift that happened to you internally that makes you kind of see life in a different direction, and kind of makes you want to kind of choose other options, right? Or choose other opportunities and possibilities for you that can maintain that kind of sense of freedom for you, and also be able to continue working at the things that you truly love. Because I feel like maybe you were working on things that you weren't really quite passionate about, but it was more like a responsibility and duty for you to kind of maintain this and continue working on it. And I feel like because you have more freedom now for the month of February, you are going to realize this month that you're actually quite passionate towards other endeavors and other activities, right? You are going to have more drive towards other projects or other things that kind of bring more passion in your life. You're more passionate towards these things, right? And that's going to make you question what you were doing before, or second guess, or kind of rethink things. I do see you rethinking things and kind of changing your mind on things because of how the change of your routine. You know, your life is changing, your life has shifted, and there's just a sense of freedom. And I feel like you're just going to enjoy this freedom so much that you're going to want to revolve your life around this freedom. That's what I feel, because we're taking a risk, right? Because like I feel like you really want to take a risk on something. That's what I feel, right? So yeah, so that's quite good for Libras. Let's take a look further into the reading. So we have third eye chakra. We have trust. So we have the Fool card again. So yes, you're definitely taking a risk on something, Libra. Definitely. And we have heal, and you're basically breaking the chains off here. See? You were chained before. That's what I feel. I feel like you were stuck, right? In a situation or job or a particular thing that you had to put your attention on, or it could be anything, could be a home, could be something that you were just tied down to. And you kind of had no choice but to. And now there's kind of like a sense of freedom with this coming up in this month of February, where you're just going to take a risk and you're going to trust in yourself. You're going to trust in following a different path. You're going to trust in following your passions and following a new direction. Something that you were doing before was just a little bit draining, and it was tying you down. It felt a little bit suffocating. It felt a little bit like you didn't have control over it. Almost trapped, right? Feels like you were trapped. Feels like you didn't like doing what you were doing. I mean, you did like it, but deep down there was a sense of oppression. That's what I feel like. You were oppressed by the situation, and you were kind of going through kind of like a sort of darkness. And as much as like you don't want to admit it, you probably know deep down that you felt this. And there's a sense of like an anchor pulling you down, right? Or a sense of entrapment and not being able to free yourself from that. And I feel like now there's just this opportunity, because you do have two cards here that is about trust and freedom, that is giving you the chance to kind of break free from those chains, right? So here you see him kind of breaking free from the chains, but it also involves you healing. So something about you wasn't healed internally, and that's why it kept you kind of trapped. I feel like once you heal internally, you can break free from that pattern. So it's a repetitive pattern that you keep putting yourself in because you're not healed, right? And you see in his heart space right here, this little light emanating in his heart chakra. All right, there's something that you need to heal. Maybe regaining your soul back, right? Maybe you lost your soul. Maybe you broke. Maybe you were broken, right? Because this is the card of heal, and this is a major arcana. So it's definitely something that is really telling you that you need to heal yourself. There's certain things that you have not healed within yourself that you need to start healing. And as soon as you start to heal, right, everything will just shift around you and you will break free from that situation, right? And that's why there's an opportunity here for you to break free, right? There's a sense of lightheartedness. There's a sense of wanting to take a risk on something new. And I feel like it's a project. It's like an endeavor or project that you're working on, and you're putting a lot of attention into it. It's kind of like your treasure. It's kind of like you trust it, right? You trust it. Oh, you trust it, right? And you're putting your love and attention into it, right? So it's something that you believe in. It's something that you want to work on, and it's something that's healing you, right? So yes, there's definitely a feeling of wanting to break free from something, um, something that's been ongoing, and I feel like it's something to do with a job or an endeavor or a task or a responsibility, but kind of believing that now you can move on forward to something different, right? And you're trusting in that experience, right? You're just moving forward with belief and confidence in yourself and in the situation. Okay. There's also the reason why you have so much trust in taking this risk and trying a different path is because you just have such a strong intuition this month, Libra, and your third eye chakra is really activated this month of February. There's just so much information and vision coming in through for you. There's just a lot of channeled messages. There's just a lot of like the gut feeling, because you can call it your gut feeling or you can call it your intuition, but it's the same. It's mostly your intuition. And sometimes, our body is also very intelligent, so it's our bodies is very intuitive. So when we have a gut feeling, that's our body being intuitive also, right, about something that just feels right, right? And so there is going to be something that does feel right for you, and you are having information here, third eye chakra, and you're trusting it. You're trusting that information, and you're pulling forward towards it, right? Because there's just such a deep knowing that your third eye chakra is going to be very activated this month of February. So you're gonna trust it, right? You're gonna pull forward towards it, and because you're healing, right, and you're seeing things clearly, right? And because you're healing, you're also going to you're going to see things differently, right? But by doing that, not only will you be healing before, but by doing this, you're also going to be healing even more, right? So yeah, that's what I see for you, Libra. I see opportunity for you to gain that sense of freedom, gain a sense of freedom back that perhaps you didn't have before for a long time now. I feel like when I take a look at this card, I feel like it's been a while since you've had that feeling of freedom. It feels like you've been in the dark for quite a long time. It feels like you've been chained up for quite a long time with a certain task or responsibility. Or with even, I feel like it goes deeper than that. I think it's a wound too. A wound that you have that comes from your past or childhood. And that wound has actually been trapping you, right? But by healing that wound, it's almost as if you're freeing yourself by healing that wound. It's kind of like gaining your soul back. Healing from a trauma. That's what I feel, Libra. And that's why it's like walking in that darkness for many years, I feel. It's like walking in that darkness for many years and kind of finally having the opportunity to kind of break free from that, right? Because this is the heal card. And because you're healing from that trauma or deep wound, because you're healing from it, it's almost kind of liberating you to kind of actually move forward in what really inspires you in life or what really makes you fulfilled in life, right? And you're trusting it, right? Because there's just such a divine knowing, a strong intuition, strong gut feeling that this is for you, right? So yeah, that's great, and you're going to be working really hard towards it. Like you're going to be staying up late or waking up early in the morning, maybe at dawn, morning sunrise on this. It's just because you're passionate towards it, Libra. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that reading, Libra. So yeah, that was for Libra. Okay, and that was all the air signs. Okay, so I did Aquarius, I did Gemini, and this was Libra. Okay, so all right, guys, so that's it for my reading. I think we're up for, it's been 56 minutes, almost 1 hour now doing the reading. If you guys have any questions, I'm open to answer any questions in the chat. If you guys want to ask certain questions, I can do that too. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing the last element, doing the last reading, which will be water signs. So tomorrow I'm going to be giving a reading for the water signs. And then after that, I'm going to be doing a weekly reading after that, the next day. Okay. So, all right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed my monthly reading for all the air signs. If you like all my videos, please make sure to subscribe to my videos. If you like this video, please make sure to like. And if you'd like to donate, the link is under the description below. If you'd like to help out this channel, what I do, I'd be very grateful too. And yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. And I'll see you guys. And I'll see you guys again very soon tomorrow. So I think tomorrow we're going to start off with Cancer. So we're going to do Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Or maybe I'll switch it around because in the all signs reading, I think I did Scorpio last. So probably I'll do Scorpio first, and then Pisces, and then Cancer. Probably Cancer last. So, all right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you guys soon again tomorrow for the water signs, okay? For the month of February. Have a good one. Peace.